wait and see if we get a few people on. I can see there's one watching at the moment. I am recording this stream on Streamlabs as OBS, as well as going live with it, because I want to be able to chop this video up and actually do a how-to of how to swap the bed over for when people get into this situation eventually. It's incredibly simple. I've had a look at, they have a video which they've put up, which I think has probably been up quite a while, and on their wiki about how to do it. It's certainly easier to change the bed than it is just change the cable. But we shall take the bed off and we shall bear the cable back at where mine has its little bump, which isn't particularly easy to see, but I will show you. Like I say, so hello to the 4 of you that are watching. If you'd like to say something in chat so I know that my audio is okay and my video is okay, that would be really helpful. So yeah, when I first got the call, the email and the message that everybody else got, I did in fact notice that just down there's a little kink in my cable, and I think that was probably my fault. I think that was probably down to when assembling the printer, after you've screwed the bed on, you have those cables to plug in underneath. You have the USB-C and the 3 other cables, and I think majority of people, certainly me, just laid it straight onto its back, because that's the easiest way of tilting the printer over without we thought damaging anything, because you've got the poop chute on one side and other bits on the other. So really the easiest way to get those cables in was to just drop the printer on its back so you can pop them in, and I think that's probably how I did mine. But I'll never know, because it is what it is. I mean, mine's still printing fine. I've had no issues with it at all. I know some people have had issues with bed temperature fluctuations. Now, I think this is probably all connected to this cable. If this cable is strained, I believe it takes the signal for the thermistor, the bed thermistor, through it as well. So if that's been split in some way, it's got a break in it, whatever, people's temps are going to be flickering about. Oh, aren't we all orange today? Hi guys, thanks very much for joining. So yeah, this is basically what we're going to do. Is we're just going to quickly clip it, take it apart, have a look at how to get it apart, I think a little bit safer than their video, because I did notice that when they take the bottom off and they remove the spade clips, they didn't do any checking to make sure there was no residual current left in the bed. Now, I know there shouldn't be. I don't know if there's any capacitors in here, because I haven't actually looked, but it is a mains bed, so I would like to make sure if there are any capacitors in there, they're discharged, and I'm not going to get a belt pulling one of those spade connectors off. I know they're supposed to be insulated, and you use insulated pliers. Yes, I've got my insulated pliers, but still, I'd rather just drop a multimeter on it, just check across the terminals, make sure there's no residual power left in there that could cause us problems. So we're up to the stage of 5 people watching, so I might as well get started, because the first bit is literally just taking the bed off, which is fairly straightforward. But like I say, I want to do this. I am recording it as well, because I do want to be able to make a video up afterwards to show to people how to change the bed. I mean, again, the other issue is nobody knows yet, in fact probably including Bambu, what the new bed is going to be like, whether it's going to be the same bed with just a different design of cable. So putting it back together might be a little bit different, but it's really straightforward, I promise you of that. So what we'll do is I will transfer us over to we will go to that screen there. So I'll just do a little transition like so. So hopefully on your screen now you haven't got my ugly face, you have just got hopefully a picture of the bottom of the printer. I should just wait for everything to catch up. So yeah, we've got 6 screws to take out here, and then I believe you've got to take those out as well, but we'll take these 6 out first. As much as possible, I'm going to attempt to use the tools that came with the printer, because again, it's one of those things that I've always truly believed that if you're building a printer or you have to do something with a printer, that the printer company provides you all the tools that you need to do that job. So we're going to be using their Allen keys, not my own. And I have, as you can see, I've got this on a cushion. Now, I also used this cushion when I took the printer apart, because like I say, to get to these, oh, you can't see them, to get to these connections here, you have to turn the whole printer upside down. So I laid it on the side, on its side, on the cushion to protect the rest of the printer, while I took the bed off the rest of the printer. And of course, sitting it on the cushion now protects the screen, so that doesn't come to any harm, because we don't want any more damage than we've already got, do we? So we're just going to loosen these off. The good thing with Bambu, as you well know, majority of the screws are the same size, which does mean that you don't have a lot of problem. But then you get to these and they're smaller. So I've got my little magnetic tray there, so you can see everything I've taken out at this point, apart from the retaining screw for the plug underneath the section that drops in here. Everything else is the same size, so they're all the same. So I'm guessing all these little ones from the bottom will be the same, but we'll soon see. I would hope that my cable isn't badly damaged and that it is just the outer that has buckled, due to me leaning it on its back when I put it together, because like I say, I'm sure we're all guilty of that. I don't know how many of you follow me on Twitter. I'm sure some of you do, otherwise you wouldn't be here. But I have posted on Twitter that after Bambu Labs' latest blog post explaining how they're moving forward, I have gone down the route of I'm keeping my machine. I can wait for them to sort the bed out and the cable out and send one out to me, and I'm more than happy to fit it, as most of us have had lots of fun building 3D printers before, and I'm quietly confident that I'll be able to do it without any issues. So yeah, all the screws in that bottom section are all the same size, so that will aid putting it back together again. They're all these tiny wee little, almost like self-tappers, so that makes that bit easy to remember. So yeah, so here we are, here's the power in. I mean, there's even a kink in the cable there. I don't think even that will be an issue, because that part of course is clamped. I'm just going to see if I can zoom you in a little, get a bit of a closer look. Oh, there we go. So yeah, you can see a twist in the cable there. This section just pulls back out. It's very, very simple. So we've got those screws out so we can see to this part of the board. We won't be touching anything there. It's all sheathed anyway. Every terminal is got sheathing over the top of it, so it's perfectly safe. So that's always good to see. Good afternoon, Derek. Now I am looking at chat, you see, so no. So I just need to now take this section off, which, like I say, on the cushion makes life easy because I can just spin it around like that. So we'll take these screws out here, and then they want me to disconnect the cable from this side first and then unscrew the bed, so that's what we'll do. I think you could probably do it the other way around as well. I think you could probably do the 4 under the bed first and then come back to these. Just zoom us back out again so you can see what we're doing. Yeah, you see, Derek, I'm watching you. So we'll just take these out here. Of course, the splitting of the bed from the frame, like I've said, I didn't think I needed to show you guys that. If you've built the printer in the first place, it is just reversing that process. So like I say, if you've put the printer together, you should be able to get it down to its 2 component parts. And if you can do that, quite frankly, this part shouldn't be an issue to you either, because having looked at the wiki and looked at their video, it is incredibly straightforward. So in here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We've got 10 to do under here by the look of it. We'll get one out in a minute and we'll see what size they are. They're probably a different size again looking at them. Yes, Derek, I have indeed watched your latest video, and very good it is too. I unfortunately have been working exceedingly hard since coming back from my weekend away last weekend. Sort of hit the ground running. We have an awful lot to do here before we open in March, and I've been crawling about in 3-metre deep trenches, laying sewerage pipe and water pipe and electric cables and the such. So unfortunately my evenings haven't really felt like doing much, as my ever so very quickly aging body keeps telling me that I've worked hard, and it wants me just to relax. So I haven't been doing much. Right, I think I've got all of those. So we'll see how this comes up. I'm sure there's a way, and I'm sure I probably haven't done it. I don't know if I've even done that. Oh, missed one. See, that's what I like about me streaming. I get massive amounts of live viewers, don't I? I stream to about 10 people, and then when I leave the stream up, like I did when I built this, all of a sudden I get a shed load of views. In fact, my build video has just passed about 10,000 views, which is brilliant, pleases me massively. I have just started the process of trying to get an affiliate link for Bambu, because if 10,000 people have watched me build this, it could be that a couple of people have bought one on the back of it, and yeah, it would be nice to get some. How does this come off here? All the screws are undone. Oh, there we go. Just a little bit cautious. And there we are. So we're in. I should place that to one side as well. Yes, the best 10 people. Absolutely. Well said that, man. So let's have a little look at what's going on here. I mean, I'm sure you've seen all of this before. When Adam did the strip down when he first got it, we'll do a little bit of a zoomy if we can. bring it in a bit like that, and then we will just bring the camera up. Sorry if you get motion sickness. But you kind of know that how it has to be. Let's get, that maybe is a little bit too far in. So there we go. So here is the cable coming in. It comes to here, and then you've got your black, your brown, and your earth. Of course, this is your power supply, and then we've got at least 2 sensor cables there, and then these very fine, they almost look like Cat5 single strands, very small gauge. So what we'll do is, I'll just ever so quickly, for my own peace of mind, that isn't focusing, is it? Sorry guys, I might just have to zoom out a little. It's not the best camera in the world, and I think trying to zoom in is causing it unnecessary aggro. I would hope not. I would kind of hope that they'd have to well, I mean, I don't know how they can. I for one would take my money out of my account as soon as possible anyway, because money's good. So I've just got my multimeter out. I am just going to do a couple of quick checks. Well, I can't because I can't get the cover up. There we go. I'm just making sure we've got no dodgy voltages hiding in here that are going to cause me any aggro when I start disconnecting anything. Now that's all good. It's actually reading resistances at the moment, so that's. I've got a couple of spare terminals on there. I smell hacking. Yeah, no, there's absolutely nothing through anything there. That's all good. But yeah, we've got a spare plus and minus on the voltage there, so we could just maybe hack into that at some point. 24 volt, 4.2 amp. Of course, it is only a very small power supply because it only needs to be because of the mains voltage heated bed. And we all know what happens with those, don't we? Right, so cables we have to remove. We've got to remove this one, which is actually screwed onto the terminal, because that is also connected to this spade terminal here. So we'll unscrew that first. Then we'll unplug these 3. Then we'll unplug these 2. And then we will take those out. And if you are doing this at home on your own, get your camera out, take a photograph of it, so when you do come to fit your new bed, you remember how things go. Because it's easy to remember when it's sat here. It's not quite so easy to remember in March when your other bed turns up. So yeah, I'll just get my screwdriver onto that, and we'll have that disconnected. So just get my big chunky electrician's screwdriver. I'm hoping that's on a spade clip. It is. So that's nice and easy. So we'll get this removed, and as soon as we get this removed, we'll have the fun job. We'll cut into the sheathing down to here and see if we can find if I've got any damage and any fire risk. I doubt I will have. So we'll start with what I'm guessing is the black at the right hand side. They're on nice and sharp, are those. My goodness. It's even taken the. So you got a capacitor there, you see, so probably good that I did check. My goodness, they're on. I'm trying to be as careful as possible that I don't damage anything, but they are well and truly on there. You see, they make it look so simple in their video. But yeah, they've got some grip. I didn't want those coming off. I'm just trying to find a way of maybe getting a bit of leverage without damaging anything, because those beggars are tight. Let's try this one first. Oh, you can hear how much strain that took. They are on super tight, which is a good thing. No, Andrew, no fix whatsoever. Basically what they've said is nobody should use their machines anymore. Everybody should stop using them immediately while they find out exactly how many people have got problems, and they want everybody to change their beds, and they're offering people, if they're not happy doing that, a full refund. They say within 15 days of receipt of the printer back. I don't know how well that's going to happen, depending on how many people decide to send their printers back. And they will also get a $80 or equivalent voucher to use at the Bambu Lab store. That includes if they've bought them from Micro Center. If you want to keep your printer, they will send out new heat beds to everybody once they've been designed and checked. They think that'll be March at the earliest, but you will receive $120 or the equivalent in whichever currency you use. You'll get a $120 voucher to use in the Bambu store. So that's of course my course of action, because I'm more than used to fiddling with printers and electronics and one thing or another, so I don't mind in the slightest doing that. But it does mean I'm going to be without the printer for a while, but that's okay. I like the printer, so I might as well just hang on in there and wait and get a replacement bed shipped out to me, and take it from there, really. Yeah, I will do, Shane. I intend on actually I'm recording this as well as streaming it, so I will be able to do something else with it and edit it a bit and make it a bit less janky. But those were on blinking tight. Oh, by the way, hi Shane. Good to see you, buddy. So yeah, we've got those off, even though they were blooming hard work. Now everything is labelled on the board. Neutral, live, PE, which I'm guessing is something to do with Earth. Those two there, the white and the black, were not labelled. So again, make sure you take a photograph before you take it out. Then you'll know what it is. And then I say this is very thin, ever so very thin wires on these. I think what I might do is, like I said, they are almost like Cat 5. I might just pull that off first and just give these cables a bit of slack. There's a little bit, I don't know whether you can say this, a little bit of silicone glue on this side here, which is holding the cables to the side of the plastic. So we're going to need to very carefully take that off there as well, so we don't damage any of the cables. I mean, not that it matters, because of course this will be going to the parts bin, but I'm still going to do it very carefully. Just ease those cables out of that silicone glue like that, and then we shall just remove this plug. Like so. So that's all the cables removed from this end. The other thing we have to do, we have an earth that comes around to here, which appears to bolt to the chassis of the bed. So we have to remove that one as well. If I can find what I did with my Allen key, I probably threw it across the room while trying to
get those cables off. Sorry, I'm trying to keep up with chat. I must apologise. Am I going to rewire the whole thing? I honestly don't know, Andrew. I am of the opinion that it's not beyond my abilities to strip this cable down, change the main power cables for some multi-stranded silicon cables, and then put some cable wrap around it and put it back together and use it until such a time as my replacement bed comes. Oh, that's the other thing I was going to say. If you do keep the printer and you fit the revised bed when it comes out, Bambu Lab said they will extend your warranty by 6 months. So don't worry about that. That's just the multimeter turning itself off. So yeah, that's another reason why I'm hanging on to it, because they are, like I say, extending their warranty. Not that their warranty counts for much, really, in the scale of things. You know, I think warranties these days are pretty much, they're always get outable of, if you know what I mean. Sorry, just checking the chat again. So I may rewire it, Andrew, but if I do rewire it, I won't be telling anyone, because that would probably void my warranty if I rewired it myself. Right, so we're coming, sorry, we're going to pull this piece out here now. Now on their video, it was done ever so very easily and there was no difficulty at all. I can see it being a bit more difficult than they showed it. Yeah, you see that's tight in there. There is, just see if I can show you. Whether you can see, you can't. Let me just try something. This might go all terribly wrong, but on the other hand it might work. Let's just go to right, we're going to shaky hand cam here, so I apologise profusely. Right, shaky hand cam. Right, make sure I can get it in shot. You can see there, pointy thing. There, look, that goes underneath this plastic tab. So by the look of things, we have to bring this up and then push it out. So that is what we're going to do. So we'll just go back to sorry, I'm wobbling about all over. We'll just change back to this scene like that. Here we go. We remove that camera out of the way. I'm a trained professional. Yeah, well, I think Shane, they're expecting the machine back before they offer any refunds. From what I understand, having read some of the stuff online, it looks like you've got to actually physically send the machine back, and once they've got the machine back from you, you will then get your refund. Because there have been people saying, oh, I've not kept the original packaging, and they have done a wiki on how to package it up if you don't have the original boxes, how they would like it sending back. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Now I'm going to do a little bit of something here. I am just going to... Right, so this is their video. that they did of how to remove it all, and I want to see. We'll watch this bit together, shall we? Would we all like to watch this together? I want to see how they take this cable out, because it looks quite interesting to me. Now you won't be hearing the audio of this. It's quite interesting. So yes, we've done this bit. So we'll skip through that. If you want to watch it, it is available online. You see what he's doing it with tweezers, look. In fact, if I saw that right, we're just going to rewind that a second. He seemed to be prising down with an Allen key while pulling on the cable. Was that me? Yeah. I wouldn't suggest doing that. So yeah, we've done that. We've pulled all that, well, we haven't pulled all that back, but I didn't want to pull all that back. So at this point, so yeah, they're lifting it up and then pulling out at the same time. Okay. Well, we can do that, can't we, between us? Always good to have the video available. So, they tell me to feed all this out first. So we'll get all this out like so, and then he lifted up on this piece like that and then pulled and it just popped straight out. Oh, and it does. There we go. He wasn't lying. And then we just feed all this gubbins through. Now, I have actually pulled those off and I didn't need to. This is why you should watch the video. But there we go. I shall reattach those shortly. So that's those out. So these that are here, we didn't need to do. So I'll just bang those back on. Neutral was that one. And earth was that one. So, cable out. Floppy doppy cable out. Well, I'd love to, Andrew. But I can't afford all these blooming machines, can I? So, now we will turn it over on my cushion of delight. And we'll come to this side. And we'll just, I'm sorry for all the shaking, like I say. Now, these, again, this is really easy. Almost idiot proof. Just pop these 4 rubbers out. And literally all they do, they're just covers. And then inside here, there are 4 screws. Okay, you see those? Yes, we can. Marvellous. So we'll just undo those. Well, we could probably test that, Andrew. Now, I promise you this stream is not going to be as long as Joe's was yesterday. I do worry he's going to burn himself out. It was a 10-hour stream we did yesterday building that CNC milling machine. And that's it. 4 screws and the bed's out. Oh, that's the way that one went. I'll put that one there. So, we've now got to get those screws out without them going everywhere. So what we'll do is we'll put that on there and we'll go That's those two. And then that's those two. So that is the bed. That is the bit we need to look at. We shall carefully move the rest of it out of the way. Cheers, Shane. Thanks very much for dropping by. Much appreciated. I'll try not to kill myself before too long. But yeah, thanks for dropping in, Shane. Very good of you, mate. So, this is the bed. Not that you can see it, but this is the bed. That's the carriage. But like I say, we've seen all this on Adam's strip down and rebuild video. I'm not going any further than that. So we shall move this out of the way, because we don't need that anymore. What we need to do is this bit. So the theory is they are just going to send me a new one of these with the cable already in, and we just do the reverse to fix it. Just fit the new one on. But we want to see what's going on here. This little bit here where we've got all the interest. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my side cutters, and we're going to cut ever so carefully all the way down this cable until we get to that point there, which you can't see because I'm not showing you. We're going to clip all the way down here until we get to here. We're going to clip beyond it, and we're going to look and see if there's any obvious signs of damage. There's no obvious signs of damage anywhere else on the cable around here. This is all absolutely fine. There's no kinks, there's no bulges, there's nothing. And I think that bulge that's there was me. I think that's when I put it together and I laid it on its back to do it. And I think that's what that is. But better safe than sorry. Like I say, they're going to send me a cable, so that's good of them. Now I don't know whether I'm going to be able to slide that off there. No, it's sort of heat welded on by the feel of that. So we might have to try and hack through that without damaging the cable, because that seems to be heat sealed, as it were, or shrunk fit around here. So this may turn into carnage quicker than I thought. I hope not, but you never know, do you? I mean, the theory is, see, those cables aren't very thick at all. I would be wanting to use something a little bit more substantial than those. Shall we go for close-up cam again? So yeah, to say they are carrying mains voltage, they are fairly small cables, because I guess it's going through the black and the white. I'm guessing they're the actual mains voltage cable, because of course the green and yellow is the earth, and the other ones are going to be the signal cables and the thermistor cables. So those two, although they look big on here, trust me, they are quite small cables. It's got to be said. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they've been tested, but I would like something that's got a bit more girth about it. Don't know what you guys think. Let's just transition us back again. There we go. Yeah, do you think they look a bit thin? 12 gauge from fag packet calculations. Well, I haven't got my micrometer, my digital calipers with me, so I can't tell you what size they are, but they do look decidedly thin. It's got to be said. I mean, if there is no damage and I can get this part apart without totally annihilating it, I would be interested to get it stripped back, and then run some better multi-strand mains cable for these two, for the white and the black. Turn those from white and black into red and black maybe, and rewire it, because yeah, they do look somewhat thin. You see, this was inside the machine. There's a twist there, but I don't think that's a twist. I think it's one of these cables where it's run round sideways. But yeah, it doesn't look, I don't think it looks particularly big anyway. Right, sorry, just reading the chat. So what we're going to do is, like I say, I'm going to try and do this without damaging anything too much and keeping everything in shot. What I might do is I might zoom out a bit, guys, just so I'm not crawling out of shot all the time, because I'm sure that's being really annoying for you. So let's just get down like this so we're in shot. I shall move the base of the printer out of the way and I shall get myself in a better position. I am very much looking forward to having a new place to work when this finally happens. So I've got workbenches and things I can actually do this sort of thing on. So somehow I've got to get this chewed off. And like I say, that appears to be some kind of heat welded onto there. Now trying to do it without any damage. Side cutters are not your friend at the best of times. They can give you a nasty nip, but better than a blunt knife. So this isn't going to make very good television, guys, I'm afraid. Right, I can get in there with my pliers now. Yeah, this is going to be a little bit on the fiddly side. I mean, if push comes to shove, I'll just repair it all with jellies. Right, we're making some progress. By that I mean I've chopped 2 bits out. I don't think this plug is going to be particularly usable again. But hey, we could always 3D print something. Or somebody else could design it and then just send it to me. I just print something in TPU. Oh, you see, that's why I have to be careful with these things. They'll have your hands off as soon as look at you. To 100 millimeters from the strain relief. As the bend creates resistance, and that's what causes it to melt. Well, when I can get to that stage, Andrew, it'll be fairly straightforward to bear that cable back, but I've just got to get this moulded plug off first, and this is going to be the difficult bit. Like I say, I'd rather not just cut straight through the cable. Because that's more destructive than I want to be, if at all possible. Yeah, that's coming out of there. So talk amongst yourselves while I cut holes in my fingers. We know I like to stab myself. We've seen it before on live streams where I've bled all over the place and tried to keep it quiet. So we're coming down to there. So I might chop a section out here. I suppose if I was to rewire it, I'll just get a silicone gum and silicone it. Just get some black silicone. Silicone it from the outside, silicone it from the inside. And it'll do as good a job as this. In fact, it'll probably give it a bit more flex. So it'll probably be a little bit less likely to have the same issue. But who knows? Thank you to the 11 of you that managed to stay awake this long. Right, so we're just down now to this central part. I think we might have got it, guys. There we go. Not too much damage to it. We'll go to Mr. Close-Up Cam again. So that's where it's been crimped in the rubber. No signs of me having actually damaged anything. I've not gone through the outer sheathing anywhere. So yeah, that seems to be alright. Well, the flush cutters, these wonderful things, we all know that everybody has 1,000,001 flush cutters that they got with their old 3D printers, and I've broken them all. I actually got these ones from AliExpress. They were about £1.49. It was one of those things where you buy 3 things at £1.49 and then they ship them. So they're not the most expensive side cutters in the world, but they're all right. But yeah, I know what you mean about those flush cutters, Andrew. They were an interesting anomaly. Right, I need to get the close-up cam out again because I've just noticed something. I'm not quite sure what's going on here before we go any further. I think this has been talked about, and I don't think I quite understood what they meant, but now having it in front of me, I think I now understand a little better what they've been talking about. Right, I'm just going to... Right, so you've got these 3 or 4 wires here that are on this plug. You've got your black and your white, which I'm guessing are your mains voltage. And then you've got this earth cable. But running up the side of this earth cable, there is some sort of screen wire or something. Can you see that's... Oh, no, you can't. Come on, focus. Come on. There we go. You can see that wire there, that screen wire, that's above the white. And that's running through this outer sheathing here, which has also got the earth cable in it. But this is running through it as well. So quite what that is for, I'm not sure, but I'm going to have to be very careful that I don't clip through that while cutting the rest of it back. So I'm going to have to try very hard to avoid that. So I think I'm probably going to come in there between the white and the green, and I'll clip down there because I'm keeping away from all the thin wires. So if I go in there, that should be my way in, I think. As long as they don't twist it. See, there it is, look. I'm not quite sure the use of that cable there, but that's mighty fine cable. Let's just go back to the bigger screen. Yeah, could well be shielding, but it's shielding on the earth. So, excuse me, I'm just going to take a swig of my drink. I must apologise. I'll mute myself while I do it. Now then, Martin, good to have you here. Thanks for joining the exciting afternoon. So yeah, I'm just going to continue to carefully nibble down this cable until we can get to where the offending part is. I mean, it would be nice if it would just bear back, but I don't want to. You know the score, you grab hold of everything, you just pull the sheathing off. But it is got, I was going to say cotton, but it's got some braiding on the inside as well. So I'll only end up snapping a cable, I think, if I go down the route of just trying to strip the sheathing back. So I think to be on the safe side, we're going to nibble. I know it makes the video longer and more of a pain. But it seems to be doing alright. Like I say, those power cables do look thin to me, but I am no electrical engineer. I am no expert. I'm sure that they will have gone through some kind of testing with them and made sure they can handle the ampage that's coming through the bed. But I would be happier with something a little thicker. Right, so we're getting on alright here. This is all coming out. You see, the thing is, wax some black masking tape back around that when I shove it all back in. We'll be laughing. I'll be printing benches in no time at all. But you know, I'm old school. I've had my A-nets. In fact, when I get into the new room, I might bring that out of storage, and it might go up on the shelf, and we might periodically have it printing in the background, because that would be quite fun, wouldn't it? Right, we're getting to it. Is anybody still with us? Oh, he took my fingers off again. That's because I'm trying to read the chat, not look at what I'm doing. So we're about to come. This next clip here, right, this is where the beginning of that rubber grommet was. So that rubber grommet starts here and runs from here to here, and then my little kink is there. We'll go back to close-up cam. So I've snipped to here. This piece here is where it started going through the grommet. The grommet came down to here, and then my kink, or the only kink I'm showing you, is there. Okay, so I've just got to, I'm at the beginning of where there could be damage now. So I'm going to cut probably to about here to make sure that I bear all that back and get a good look. But at the moment, there's no obvious signs of any discoloration or damage. It certainly doesn't smell. And we all know how nice electrical smells when it starts to melt. Am I just investigating the old cable for fun? Pretty much. I did notice that there was a bubble in the cable when they asked me to check, so I stopped using it, although they have said to everybody, stop using your machines. I wonder how many are still printing. I bet there are loads. Bet there are loads that are still printing. To be honest with you, if I do continue to use this printer until my replacement bed arrives, I'm probably going to leave this sheathing off, because that way I will be able to see far quicker if there's any problems. Right, I have nipped down beyond the bulge. So the bulge is there. Oh, close-up cam again. Come on, Matt. So the bulge in my cable was there, and I've split back to here. So we're going to open this up. And we're going to take this sheathing off. Again, you can't see anything, can you? I've never professed to be a cameraman. Mind you, I never confessed to be any good at 3D printing either. Now I can see, you can't, but I can see right, so we've got the black wire and this one here that's got all the thin stuff in it. Now look, at this point, that you see that there, that seemed to be almost as if it was stuck together. And that wire does indeed look like it's got hot. Can you see that? That seems to have heated up at that point, because that black sheathing was actually stuck to the outer insulation of this black cable. Now the white seems okay, although having said that, mind you, that's got that all the way up. I think that's probably just, that doesn't feel deformed at all. But this black, there's definitely something going on there. Whether you can see that. Is that viewable? So that you can see there. I don't think that's the cable coming through. I will take some close-up photographs. I think that is just from this cable. But there is definitely some melting going on there. So anybody that's got one of these, stop using it. Stop using it now. Because that is clearly not right. So we will cut back a little bit further down this cable, and we shall make sure that it sorts itself out when it gets a bit further down. But any thoughts of me banging this back together now and using it without replacing those cables have gone right out of the window. Because that is not good. So we're just going to nip down a little bit further down here. And we're going to just we're going to do this together, guys. Now you see it's not stuck again. See, the rest of that cable looks to be okay. That's gone back to being I would say undamaged, but there is definitely a section between my fingers that is damaged cable, and that was exactly where that kink was. There, clear for all to see. So yeah, I'm going to take from that I won't be using this printer anymore with that cable. So we're going to transition over to this, which is me. Because there's no point going much further, really. There's no point checking resistance on that cable because we now know that cable is damaged. So yeah, looks like there is an issue. I'm sure they've found it on many of their machines, but I am going to I'm going to have my headphones switch themselves off. I am going to post my findings on Twitter. I will do a short from this video showing the damage. And yeah, I'm not going to use this again. What I might do is I might, in the fullness of time, like I say, rewire it, put some more impressive cables in it, and use it. But I think at this stage my A1 is yeah, it's not going anywhere. It's not being put back together. I may well end up getting a call from Bambu, and they may well ask me to send it to them for them to look at. They may want some close-up shots. I will put some close-up shots out there, and yeah, we'll take it from there. So I'm going to call it, guys. I know I've not been on long. I've only been on an hour, but I have done what I wanted to do today. I will thank all 11 of you for watching, for taking the time. There are other things in the pipeline. Andrew has very kindly sent me some bits and pieces to help me get the Prusa Bear back together. And yeah, that's an ongoing thing. In fact, I had to clear the desk to make room to take the A1 apart. So that will come back out probably tomorrow, and I do little bits on that in evenings if I'm not overly tired. But yeah, that's where we are for now. I'm going to source some cable. I've got plenty of crimps and things like that. Strip that cable right back and do some tests with it. But yeah, take care, guys. If you're out there and you're going, my cable looks alright, won't worry about it. Worry about it. Stop using it. Stop now. Right, take care, everybody. I'm going to say thanks for watching, and I am going to then remember how to do the thing that does the thing. But take care. You know how to get hold of me on Twitter if you want to speak about anything. I'm always here to listen. Take care, guys. Thanks so much for joining. We'll see you later.